The Capitol Center is sold out tonight. 18,130 on hand. Here's tonight's officiating crew. The referee is Rob Schick, and the linesmen are Gerard Gauthier and Dan Shakti. Ron Hextall once again gets the starting goal for the Flyers. Last night in 59 minutes of work, he gave up 3 goals against, posting a 3.05 average so far in the series. Ken Regan will back him up. While Pete Peters gave up just 2 goals against in last night's game, went the distance, a 2.00 average thus far, and he is backed up by Don Beaupre. Mike Ridley at center, Kelly Miller on the right wing, Michael Pavanka on the left. It is Sheehy and Langway back on the blue line. The Flyers have Berube on the left side, Sutter at center. Partners back on defense, along with Chikrin, and Rick Tocchet on the right wing. Capitals get the draw and steer it back inside the Flyers zone, and here comes Berube to start out up to center ice, and Sheehy right away pushes it back to the Philadelphia line. Partner has it taken away, and it drifts back on goal. Now Hextall, a long lead pass out to center ice for Sutter. And that's grabbed by Mike Ridley. Now Kelly Miller into the corner to Pavanka. Ridley back to check against Ron Sutter. And the puck cleared outside the line. Langway dumps it on back into the Flyers zone, and the fans are already on Ron Hextall, chanting his name. I can't remember them ever doing it this early for Billy Smith, can you?
They're waiting for the first laugh.
Here's Sheehy back into his own end. Sheehy works to center ice. Now tosses it across the line. And at the Flyers zone, here's Mark Howe. Rink wide for Kjell Samuelsson. Both teams have changed up the line. John Bruce out there now for the Caps with Ciccarelli and Christian. Now they complete the change. On the left wing, here's Eklund's shot. Blocked. And Bruce is able to clear it to the point, but not out. It's kept in. Scott Stevens goes to the corner. Stevens, a pass that's intercepted at the line, but Samuelsson only got part of it. Bruce kept it going, and Howe has to get it at center, and he throws it back into the Washington zone. Now Scott Stevens behind the net. Right wing side for Bobby Gould. Gould goes left wing. Out to center for Courtnall. He's hit there by Jay Wells. The Flyers dump it back to the Washington zone. Kevin Hatcher to center ice. Pushes it across the line, back inside Philadelphia's end of the ring. Gord Murphy. Off the boards out to center ice, and Calle Johansson has it to Dale Hunter. Right side for Bobby Gould. Wells gets that. Hunter hits him. Now Derek Smith slowed up by Hunter, and he crosses inside the Washington zone. Back come the Capitals on the attack. Hatcher to center and throws it back into the Flyers zone. As the Caps change up, Bob Rouse comes out there now to play on defense. This is Rouse number 8. Off the stick of Bob Gould. Mellenby takes it back into his own end. Send a pass back to Wells. It hops over Jay Wells' stick, and boy, Hextall had to react in a hurry to stop that. You never can take anything for granted, can you? Hextall suddenly awakened with that play. Now clears it off the boards and throws it all the way back into the Washington end. Wickenheiser plays it for Steve Leach. 17 minutes to go here in the first period. There's no score. Leach to the blue line, and offside is called against Washington. There's a break in the action with the score. The Capitals nothing and the Flyers nothing.
This year, if you really want to get money back, listen to Henry Block.
Go to Subaru.
Up to $1,500 cash back or 4.9 APR financing.
Of all the Subarus registered since 1978, 92% are still on the road, which could mean this four-wheel drive Subaru will still be good on a hill when other cars are over it.
No score in this hockey game with 16:54 left in the first period. Al Koken, Mike Bournes, and Jeff Rimmer with you tonight on Home Team Sports. Game 2 of the Patriot Division semifinal series.
Mark Howe leads a pass to center ice for Tim Kerr on the right wing. He gives it to Mike Bullard. Bullard throws it across the line. It bounces on net. Peters is there to make a glove save. Well, Ron Hextall sure was surprised earlier when a pass came back and got away from Jay Wells, and I think that was the most excitement either of the goaltenders has seen so far in the opening 4 minutes.
That's a really key play for him. I mean, if he's not concentrating, that thing gets by him. Boy, his confidence could completely be shattered. You see the play here. Mellanby just throws it back to Wells, and look, Hextall has got to be extremely quick about it, and he makes a pretty good save. It's not coming in too hard, but then if that gets by him, well, this whole crowd is really on him again, and then he's got to be thinking, what more can go wrong after 2 what he thinks fluky goals last night.
I had said that the puck bounced over Wells' stick. After seeing that replay, I think he was already looking where he was going to make the pass. He just wasn't watching the puck. It rolled right past the heel of his blade. Which places Wells a little bit more at error than a bouncing puck. Here comes Kelly Miller down the ice. A backhand shot wide of the Flyer goal. Out of the point. Langway keeps it in, throws it into the corner. Now Mark Howe starts out. Up to center ice for Tim Kerr. Wrist shot blocked by Langway into the corner. She is hit. Ridley comes along to help him out. Now the puck taken by Al Secord, who did not dress for last night's game. To the point, Mark Howe's drive goes wide. Gord Murphy's shot blocked. And Langway takes over. Right ahead to center. Kelly Miller across the line, inside the Philadelphia zone. Miller loses it in his skates, tries to keep the play going, but Ron Sutter throws it out to center. Hatcher a long shot, wide of the net. Leach puts it in the corner. Jay Wells back to get it. Up the right wing boards. A pass for Ron Sutter. Taken across the line and inside the Washington zone. Hatcher gives him a hit. Now Tocchet nailed by Franceschetti, but a shot goes wide from in front by Propp. Tocchet cutting in front, a backhander. Peters the save. The rebound stick wide. More pressure from the Flyers, and a shot grazes the side of the Washington net. Tocchet to the corner, hit by Kevin Hatcher on the play. Sutter jammed up by Wickenheiser. Now Scott Stevens clears to the point, but not out. Turnaround blast by Gord Murphy. That's taken away right in front of the net. And back comes Steve Leach for Washington. To Wickenheiser. Gord Murphy with a check. Steals the puck and clears it to the Capitals line. Scott Stevens ties up right in front of the Washington bench and is forced to play it. Over to Kevin Hatcher, and he tosses it all the way down. Now the Capitals able to get in the line change that they desired, and it's going to be an icing call. The faceoff comes back to the Capitals zone.
Remember, if you have a Moe's Cash Flow or Money Exchange ATM card, you can get cash quick and account balance information at the cashier machine in any Giant Foods. Well, great save by Pete Peters as the Flyers were buzzing around the Capitals. Some big hitting on both sides, and Philadelphia getting on track. The Homeland team really came out strong last night. It's been a pretty even start now as the Capitals look a little better, but Philadelphia certainly coming out, taking the body as they did last night. Now here comes the Philadelphia scoring chance. You see Tocchet getting it in front. Right to Ron Sutter. The backhand is stopped by Pete Peters, and then Scott Stevens does a good job of helping out there to stop Ryan Propp as Peters was down.
Rouse back to his own line. Throws it to center ice. It's taken there by Jeff Chychrun. He tosses it into the Washington zone. Pete Peters stops it behind the net and leads it up the boards for Drew. Wrist shot sticked aside by Peters. Rouse plays it off the boards for Dino Ciccarelli. Up to center ice for Christian. Christian goes left wing side for Druce. He's in the corner after the puck. Held up on the play. Druce rubbed out on the backboard. Now the Flyers take over. At the point is Eklund. It gets away from Rouse and is cleared to center ice. That's a two-line pass, and play is called with 13:57 to go here in the first period.
Well, right now, Brian Murray, to start this game, is going to go with 4 lines and move David Christian exclusively to center. John Druce will be on his left and Dino Ciccarelli on the right. Also, we told you, will be teamed up most of the evening with Calle Johansson in regular strength situations. For the Philadelphia Flyers, because of the injury again, and it's a hand-wrist injury to Murray Craven, it looks like Mike Bullard is going to get a little more ice time at center ice. Even though Secord is in the lineup, will probably take an early regular shift. Look for Bullard to get a little more offensive ice time at center ice. He was playing a lot of wing last night and didn't get a regular shift.
Into the corner goes Rouse, throws it off the backboards, and now Calle Johansson with it behind the net. Dug away by Mellanby. He throws it in front, but Rouse is there and starts out to center ice. Kortnall to the blue line, throws it back inside. The Philadelphia zone, and Hextall rushed on the play. Johansson tries to dig it free, but now the Flyers recover. Back to the Washington line, and Rouse is there. Gives it to Kortnall. The right wing boards, he's hit by Howe. Play back into the corner for Poulin. Right wing pass for Samuelson. Sheehy back to get it. And leads it ahead now for Kortnall. Mark Howe takes over. Hooks the pass to Mellanby. Left side for Brock inside the line. Stopped behind the goal by Peters, and here's Langway to move it. Bobby Gould checked by Wells. Roughed up a bit. Langway goes to try and steal, but now comes in front. Sheehy clears to the point. Wells with a shot that's wide. Here comes Kortnall. Taking it center ice. Rod Langway to the Philadelphia blue line. Tries to flip it in front. Wells works it free. Now Tocchet ties up with Pivonka. Hunter back to the point. Stevens a shot. Loose in front of the net, and Hextall finally scoops it up to stop play.
Tough going in front, tough to get to the front of that net where Ron Hextall is. Again, the Flyer defense, much like the Capital defense, doing an outstanding job of keeping people at bay. Nobody can really get a stick on it. Watch how many sticks get lifted here by the Philadelphia defense. Nice protection. A quarterback would like to be operating behind that type of pocket.
Missing from the Flyer lineup tonight, Ilka Sinisalo with a broken wrist. Murray Craven, Harry Hoffman, Mo Mantha, and Doug Sullivan all scratched. Washington has Bengt Gustafsson out of the lineup, who is still in Sweden. He'll be back this weekend. Sundstrom, Felix, and Kleinendorf. Centering pass for Hatcher, right on, and Hextall makes the save and holds the puck.
Good recognition by Kevin Hatcher. He sees nobody's really out there checking him, and David Christian's got a little room to maneuver behind the net. So Hatcher smartly jumps into the play, tries to go between the pads of Hextall. That stick is down, and Hextall covers up for the faceoff.
Paul Holmgren told me last night that he felt Mark Howe played at about 90% of what he was capable of playing with the injury taken into consideration. Now, that's higher than we thought he was going to be. We thought it'd be more, like you said last night, 75% of what you would look for from Mark Howe. But if he's already at 90% and wasn't injured in the game last night, the Flyers can look forward to a better, stronger Mark Howe for the rest of his playoffs.
But he does say he knows it's not going to be 100% at all during the playoffs, simply because of the grind, 4 games in 5 nights. But one of the things he says he really feels good about now is wearing that knee brace. He really believes in it now. And he says it doesn't hinder his skating as much as he thought it would. And it really protected him the other night in that collision. He probably would have been out of the playoffs.
Mellanby on the right wing. Starts out to center. Gives it to Howe at the blue line. Walking in, a wrist shot blocked by Hatcher. Now Druce ties up on the play. Mellanby into the corner after it. Druce right there. Puts the stick on him. Smith goes in to check John Druce and knocks him down. Druce keeps going with the puck. Nice off Mellanby, and now Scott Stevens with it behind the net. Plays it up the right wing board. Cicerelli out to center ice, and Howe takes over. Right wing side for Mellanby. Scott Stevens meets him with a check to the board. Back in neutral ice, Cartner out for Poulin, but Hatcher takes over. Finds Cicerelli. Cicerelli knocks down Tim Kerr. That isn't David going after Goliath there. Cartner on the left wing. Franciscetti takes a run but misses. The puck centered all the way back to the right point. Now here's Chychrun a shot. And it's blocked outside the zone. 10 minutes, 40 seconds to play here in the first period. No score between the Capitals and the Flyers. Washington has just 1 shot on goal so far. Here comes another one for Philadelphia. They have 4 on the net. This one fails as the puck is cleared for the blue line, but not out. Acton keeps it in. Keith Acton into the corner. Peters stops it behind the net. Lugs it back up the boards. Rice into Chuck Kerr, and now Johansson has it behind the goal. Leads the pass out to Lou Franciscetti. Out to center, and Carpenter takes over. Kicked off by Franciscetti at the blue line. Cleared inside the Philadelphia zone. Franciscetti hauled down by Chychrun, but no call is coming. The puck cleared on the left wing side, and the Flyers come back. The Caps get a line change. Here comes Ron Sutter. Sheehy runs into the backboard. Fine play on defense by Neil Sheehy. Mike Ridley gets it outside the line to center ice. Puck thrown back into the Washington zone, and Sheehy goes back to take it. Gives to Rod Langway. Over on the right wing now to Mike Ridley. Ridley to center, puts it back inside the Flyers zone, and Hextall has it behind the net. Up to Sutter. Sends it over to Gord Murphy. Back into the Washington zone, and Kevin Hatchett plays it back inside Philadelphia ice. The puck bounces into the Washington zone. No score in this game. Kevin Hatchett throws behind the net to Scott Stevens. Out to Mike Ridley. Right wing pass on the skates of Kelly Miller. Passes to the Flyer line, but Murphy takes over out to center, and now Stevens throws it on in. On the right wing, Gord Murphy out to center ice. Here's Dave Poulin with the puck. Misses Secord with a pass. Kevin Hatchett back to try and move it along. Out to center ice for Courtnall. In across the blue line. Drop pass for Dale Hunter. Works to the net. Hunter turns in the corner. Now back to Bobby Gould. A quick shot. Blocked. The Flyers come back. 2-on-1 break. Up on the right wing is Poulin. He can't get the pass from Bullard. Pressure taken off there on a good defensive play, and we've got an offside call now to stop the action with 8:14 to go here in the first period. Right now, let's check in downstairs with Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. If you were with us on the pregame show, Al Morgatti, the Philadelphia Inquirer hockey beat writer, called the job Phil Esposito has done as general manager, let alone coach, the worst of all time in professional sports. While the New York Rangers are in tough tonight in Pittsburgh, the Penguins, on goals by Stevens, Brown, and Callender, are up 3-0 in the first period over those same New York Rangers. Will Esposito keep his job? Stay tuned. Let's go back upstairs to Mike and Al.
All right, thanks, Jeff. What a great defensive play turned in seconds ago by Scott Stevens. Cutting off that pass. Terrific pace of this game. 8:14 left in the period. No penalties called, and yet you couldn't ask for more in terms of the hitting game with both sides throwing their weight around. Look at Fuller tries to thread this pass through. Scott Stevens down, gets the stick out there to prevent the pass from coming through.
Back and ready to go against Dale Hunter. Mark Howe shoots it inside the Washington end. Now back to the right point. Samuelson a blast. That's blocked by Stevens in front. And here comes Courtnall out for Washington. Hunter pushed it off his skates by Berube. There's going to be a penalty call coming up. A delayed call against the Flyers. There's the whistle, and Berube and Hunter talk it over as the linesmen get in there to keep them apart. This should give Washington the game's first power play. There's a break in the action with a score. Capitals nothing, Flyers nothing.
All-Star Dodge is having a Your Choice sale, where with just $500 down cash or trade, All-Star has 89 Dodge Omnis for you at just $115 a month. An 89 Caravan is just $222 a month. An 89 Shadow is only $144 a month. An 89 Dakota pickup is just $166 a month. All-Star Dodge, where just about everybody's credit is good. All-Star Dodge, Baltimore's #1 Dodge retail dealer. #1.
The game's first penalty belongs to the Philadelphia Flyers. Craig Berube, an interference call at 12:04. He took Dale Hunter down and out of the play as Hunter was trying to get into the Capitals' rush. And Berube did a little jostling with Hunter. Hunter wouldn't bite, wouldn't go off the ice with him. And Dale Hunter stays out there to center this Capitals power play that'll have Cicerelli and Courtnall working the wings, Johansson on the right point, Stevens on the left.
Now the first mark on the score sheet, this penalty call to Berube. There's that trumpet player who's really got this crowd stirred up into a frenzy, doesn't he?
And Claude Scott out of Quebec. This crowd really has been loving it.
Introduces his act at each face-off with a loud burst on that trumpet that sounds like an elephant. gets the crowd going. The power play last night for Washington, 1 for 8, 12.5%. Here's a wrist shot. Peters with a pad save on the shorthanded effort by the Flyers' Mark Howe. Philadelphia killing off 87.5% last night, doing the job 7 out of 8 times.
You can see Mark Howe looking like 100% there. Even as a defenseman, dangerous in shorthanded situations. Not afraid, once he gets a little bit of an opening, to go with it. So many defensemen will just take the smart/easy way out, dump it down the ice, not really gamble much. But Mark Howe, because he is such a skillful player, gets down there. Pretty good hard shot on Pete Peters. He wants to make sure he controls that rebound, so covers up for the faceoff. And here the Capitals, with 1:45 left on the power play, have to now start deep in their zone.
We can talk about differences in the lineup from last night to tonight all you want. I'll tell you the biggest difference in this building is the temperature. It is cold in here tonight, and for a very good reason. They had so many problems with the ice last night after a basketball game played the night before had kept the ice covered. And then last night, had a lot of repair jobs to do. And they did their best all day today to try and get this ice surface into perfect shape. And they haven't stopped play once to repair the ice this evening. Into the corner goes Dale Hunter. He's held off by Samuelson. At the point is Scott Stevens on the power play. Over to Kevin Hatcher. Now back to Stevens. Dino Ciccarelli. Back to the blue line. Here's Stevens with a shot. Had save blocked, and the puck cleared over to Poulin. Poulin runs into Hunter at center ice, and the puck cleared back into the Flyers zone. Tapped in a line change, and Hextall throws it all the way down. Scott Stevens rushes to center, drives the puck back inside the Flyer line. And again, Hextall does the job, clearing at the length of the ice.
This time Scott Stevens tried to go hard along the boards, but couldn't get the bounce that he wanted. And now it looks like Kevin Hatcher is going to get a penalty for running Derek Smith. An interference call there. Oh, I guess we're going to give it to Smith.
Interference is the call, and Derek Smith can't believe it.
Well, I've got to see the replay on this. Guess they're saying Derek Smith interfered with Pete Peters. Certainly looked like Kevin Hatcher was on his back as well. Let's watch it. Stevens gives up the puck, and it looks like right there, Pete Peters starts to move back into the net. I'm not so sure about that call. I think Derek Smith has got a pretty legitimate gripe.
I think the difference on the play, Al, is Peters is making an attempt to get back in the net. You can't interfere with him.
No, that is the only thing. And I talked to Don Koharski last night, and that was one of the things he was talking about in terms of running goaltenders. You got to allow them to get back in the net. Caps have a great opportunity with a two-man power play. We'll be back with no score.
Even before you get on the plane, our in-flight service manager is working to make you comfortable.
A child traveling alone in row 18, and we'll need a vegetarian meal in row 10. And Tony, make sure we have enough...
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
I get paid to fly on TWA. I'm part of the quality control team. I report directly to the chairman on what's good and what needs improving. When he's happy, you're happy.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Well, another interference call. Capitals with an extra man out there. They have a two-man advantage for the next 20 seconds.
The puck goes into the Flyer bench out of play. Dave Poulin on with Mark Howe and Shell Samuelson for the Flyer trio. Washington has Dale Hunter on the ice with Jeff Courtnall and Dino Ciccarelli, Scott Stevens, and Kevin Hatcher back on the blue line.
Don Koharski was mentioning that for goaltenders, the rule of thumb he's going to use, I guess I'm assuming it's also been passed on to all of the officials, is if a goaltender's out of his net playing the puck, incidental contact, if you lift the stick, if you try and take the puck, if you give him a little bump, fine. If you run him, hit him like the type of hard check you would normally hit another skater with, you're going to get called. And if you prevent the goalies from getting back in the net, he's also going to call interference calls, and I'm sure that's what Rob Schick did, although it certainly looked like Derek Smith was pretty well on his way to try and get Stevens and not really go after Pete Peters.
At the point is Kevin Hatcher. Penalty about to expire. The pass over to Stevens in the corner. Berube comes back on the ice. Philadelphia one man down. Slap shot by Hatcher goes wide. Hextall reaches out and grabs Courtnall. They tumble to the ice. Now the puck cleared to center, and here is Scott Stevens to take it. Goes left side for Dino Ciccarelli. Into the corner. Ciccarelli pushed off the play. Courtnall sends it up the boards. And it's pushed out of the zone now. And here comes Keith Acton, a break. He's past Kevin Hatcher, and Hatcher reaches for him. And Acton helps it along, but the penalty's going to be called. Hatcher had enough with the stick on Acton to get him started, and Acton did a great job of finishing it off. That'll even things up here as the Capitals have Hatcher headed to the penalty box.
Well, Kevin Hatcher, I think his only mistake was where he went at Acton first. Now he's got to catch up with him. Look at Acton. He's on his way down. I mean, that's definitely a dive, but why not? The referee's behind the play. You're in a situation where he's just called a penalty that's upset the other team. Take a chance. Give Keith Acton, the veteran, credit for drawing that call. Where I thought Kevin Hatcher made his mistake, it looked like he went right at Acton, almost even up with him at the Capitals player bench, and then Acton just put on just a little tiny extra burst, and that caused Kevin Hatcher to try and reach up to get Acton. Looks like Hatcher was going to have a better angle if he tried to angle him more over the blue line and as opposed to trying to rub him out at the Capitals players bench. It's now 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute and 8 seconds, assuming we don't get another penalty.
Wrigley wins the draw. Brings it over to Johansson. Up the right wing side for Dave Christian. Drop pass for Johansson. He goes to the corner. Gordon Murphy's right on it. They tie up in the corner. Now the puck centered. Off the stick of Wrigley. It winds up on the side of the net, and there Hextall is able to cover it to stop play with 53 seconds left to go in the Derek Smith penalty. 1:45 left in the Kevin Hatcher call.
You look at Calle Johansson, he is not that big, but again shows you his strength. Looks like he's been rubbed out along the boards pretty well. Still can get out there with the stick, reach out almost one-handed through the crease, bouncing off the stick, and Ron Hextall has to cover up.
To go in the first period, no score. Danielson takes it behind the net. Up the right wing boards now for Ron Sutter. Here comes Sutter to center ice. Throws it across the line back inside the Washington zone. Peters stops it for Rouse and taken outside the blue line, but Wells hit there by Ridley. Ahead comes Christian, but his shot goes wide. Pocket sprints out of the zone to the blue line. Now up to Sutter at center into the Washington zone. Drop pass for Wells. He fires, but it's wide of the goal. Chased by Dave Christian. Christian works ahead to center. Inside the Philadelphia zone. Walks around the defense and gets the shot off, but it's blocked. Tocchet comes back now for the Flyers. Rick Tocchet gives to Sutter. And Langway is there to steal it for Washington. Penalties over to Derek Smith. Now the Flyers have the power play as Kevin Hatcher's in the box, 45 more seconds. Puck hops past Mark Howe and is sent all the way down the ice by Langway. Caps have still had just 2 shots on goal. The Flyers have only 5. Rod Langway. The blue line, but not out. Now it does make its way out of the zone. He manages to clear it all the way down. You know, the amazing thing about the low shot total, many times in a game you'll see that kind of total, but it's because so much of the game has been played between the blue lines. These teams are playing the puck in each other's ends. It's been a normal hockey game in that regard, but there are not many shots on goal.
But once you get near that net, it's so tough going. You just can't get taken loose because the defenses, and they're getting help from the forwards.
Dino Ciccarelli to center ice. Flips a shot on goal. Hextall makes the pad save. Now Mark Howe. Passes ahead to Prop. Prop to center ice. Across the blue line. Drop past Partner. Comes right back in front. Scott Stevens is able to steal it. He feeds it out to John Druce. Here comes Druce to center. In across the blue line on the left wing side. A right-hand shot. Druce taken to the backboards by Chychrun. Puck centered and Druce knocked down. Now Ciccarelli a shot. Save Hextall. Rebound cleared back to the point. Delayed penalty call coming against the Flyers. Wrist shot, right on. Rebound is loose in front. And now the whistle blows and play is called. 2 minutes for cross-checking. And that is going to give Washington another power play advantage. Ron Hextall objects and is pointing something out to Rob Schick, but the referee for this game is skating over to the box now and says cross-checking at 17:20, and the call is against Jeff Chychrun.
Flyers penalty number 6, Jeff Chychrun. 2 minutes for cross-checking at 17:40. Philadelphia penalty, Jeff Chychrun. 2 minutes for cross-checking at 17:40.
Face-off will be in front and to the left of goalkeeper Ron Hextall. Here's that penalty.
Number 6 is Chychrun. Kelly Miller gets to the front of the net. He's taking, or John Juice, excuse me, he's taken right out of there with the cross-check. Ridley, Miller, Christian will be out there as a forward line combination. Johansson and Hatcher work the points for the Capitals. Right now, Ron Sutter there to take the draw. Poulin's out there. Sanderson and Howe, the defensive duo.
Caps trying to win the draw, and Ridley brings it back, but Poulin charges ahead and takes possession. That draw was supposed to come all the way back to Hatcher. Samuelson into the corner. Hextall wants to play it. He likes to handle that puck. Clears it off the boards, and Ridley steals it. And now it's grabbed by Poulin, and he throws it all the way down the ice. Calle Johansson in across the line, and linesman Dan Shackby says that Mike Ridley was in first, offside.
This is one of the plays that Capitals are trying to pull off now on the power play, entering the zone. Drive the Philly defense back a little bit, and if it's a defenseman like Johansson carrying the puck, put on the brakes and let those forwards break on through. Shackby says Ridley just was a little ahead of the play. He was the guy that was helping drive those defensemen back.
The draw back to Mark Howe. Kjell Samuelson, no hesitation at all in passing it back to Ron Hextall.
No other team in the National Hockey League uses their goaltender like this.
Here comes Kelly Miller. Back to the left point for Scott Stevens. He gives to Dave Christian. Christian centers. Ridley a shot, but it's blocked. Picked up now by Johansson. Back to the net, and once again, Hextall clears to the point and outside the line. Calle Johansson rushes the puck to the Flyer line. Now Eklund takes it away, and he clears it all the way down with 38 seconds to go in the penalty. No score. A minute 12 to play here in the first period. Scott Stevens out to Rod Langway. Now gets it over to Dale Hunter, and he tosses it back inside the line. Hextall scoops it up the boards, and Cicerelli keeps it in. A shot deflected right on goal by Hunter, who was waiting to convert it, but Hextall made the save as he was falling to the ice. 49 seconds to play in the period, 7 seconds left in the penalty. Rod Langway starts the rush to center. Penalty's over. Chychrun's out of the box, and the Flyers are at full strength. Hextall chasing it. The puck cleared right in front, and Gord Murphy there to move it away from the goal crease. Now Eklund, right side for Tocchet. Tocchet pushes it ahead for Eklund. That's stolen now by Courtall, and he comes back for Washington. Courtall on the right wing to Cicerelli, and again, the Capitals are called offside. There's 17 seconds left here in the first period.
Boy, when Ron Hextall's playing the puck and doing it successfully, it looks great. But when he's out there and has some trouble with it, it almost cost him dearly. Now watch, Hextall has tried to get out there, clear that puck around, and look how quickly the Caps turn it around, that centering. And Hextall is just getting back into the goal. Makes a terrific save on the deflection by Hunter. But he would have been in position to handle that thing easily if he hadn't been out trying to handle the puck. Take a look at it. Tries to clear it. can't get the job done as Cicerelli picks off the clearing attempt. And he gets back in time, though, to Rob Hunter. And then right after that, Jeff Portnoy picked off a clearing attempt along the boards and almost had a tear him in off a Philly defense.
He's back for it, and icing is the call with 6 seconds left here in the first period. And the faceoff returns to the Flyer zone. So the Caps still with another chance here to try and mount something in the way of an attack against Ron Hextall. Although Washington has now come up with 6 shots in the period, while the Flyers still have but 5. This next one could be a big one if the Caps can sneak a goal in here on their way to the dressing room for the first intermission.
Good chance to work a play from this faceoff. Ridley will be the man to take the draw. Hatcher and Stevens out there. Miller and Dino Cicerelli. He generally likes to get that puck back there. Try and get it back on that forehand, I would think, where Cicerelli is stuck right back there in the middle. Cicerelli have the option to either shoot or slide it over quickly to Scott Stevens. Look for the backhand draw from Mike Ridley.
Flyers win it, so the puck goes behind the net as time runs out. Mark Howe clears it up the boards. A long shot by Tocchet is caught by Peters right at the buzzer. Shots on goal in the period wind up at 6 shots for the Washington Capitals during the first period of play, and only 5 for Philadelphia since the horn had sounded before that drive by Tocchet made it to the net. And no score between these two clubs after 20 minutes of play. More live exclusive Stanley Cup coverage coming your way after these messages on the Home Team Sports Television Network.